John of the Eye Patch, Chapter 5, Gnarled Trees of Life. Mom had barely escaped John's lips when a hand clamped over his mouth and another grabbed him by the arm, pulling him away from the village center. He squirmed and struggled. "Be still," his captor said, barely loud enough to be heard over the surf. It wasn't until they were in a thicket of old gnarled trees and crawling Bahama grass that John let go. He stumbled a step, catching his balance before being embraced in a constricting hug. He was thrust back away and held at arm's length. In the fading light, he got a good look at his mom, Mary Horngold. She looked older than he remembered, but part of that might be the layer of grime. Still, it was her, the mom who had missed the last 2 birthdays. She wanted to tell her that he never gave up hope that she would come home, that Dad still missed her, and that the house was exactly the same. Except they sold the minivan, and maybe 1,000 of her things. All that came out was, "Mom, it's really you." He started to cry. "I've missed you too, John." Her teary eyes twinkled by starlight. "My, you've grown." John stretched to his full height and saw eye to eye with his mom. He grinned with pride. "Did the chest come back?" she asked. "Did you climb inside?" "The chest?" John asked. "What chest?" The one that brought me here." "The one that we got from the witch," she said. John vaguely remembered a treasure chest. They had bought it as part of a family's pirate-themed Halloween party. It had been filled with candy, and the chest had been a dark brown wood reinforced with wrought iron. I haven't seen that chest in years," John said. "It must still be here, somewhere," his mom muttered. "If you didn't arrive by chest, John, how did you get here?" This eye patch got me here." John fingered the edge of the sharkskin eye patch. "An eye patch?" She squinted in the fading light. "Did something happen to your eye?" "No, my eye's fine. I got the eye patch from the storyteller or the witch," John said. "How does the eye patch work?" His mom leaned closer to look. "I'm not sure. I guess I just put it on and it brings me here." John's fingers moved to the straps of the eye patch, but he didn't pull it free. "So you can go home?" his mom asked. "Yeah, maybe we can go together." Hope filled John. He could bring Mom home and make everything perfect. It had been 2 years since things were perfect. "Come on, Mom, take my hand." When his mom squeezed his hand, he slipped off the eye patch. Dizziness came over him. He blinked and he was back in the well-lit bathroom. He was staring at himself in the mirror. His hand was no longer being squeezed by his mom's strong grip. He looked around. His mother hadn't come with me. John fitted the eye patch back into place, and with a wave of dizziness, he returned to the island of New Providence. He stumbled with increased vertigo. He was dizzy. He fought back an urge to be sick, and when he recovered, he saw his mom fretting her fingers as she stared wide-eyed with wonder. "Amazing," she said. "It was like you became a ghost and disappeared." "Did it work? Did you go home?" "Yes." John's eyes teared up again. "But you didn't come with me, Mom." "Hush." She grabbed him in another tight hug. "I'm just glad you can leave this place. John, go home. Forget that you ever saw me here." "What? I can't lose you again." John couldn't imagine returning home knowing his mom was trapped 300 years in the past. "You don't know how hard it's been on me. And Dad," John said. "Ben," she whispered it, barely a noise at all. Ben was John's father's name. John squirmed out of her hug and looked up at her, her tight cheeks, her jaw fixed, her eyes staring off at the stars. "He's still waiting for you, Mom. Every day. For 2 years, he's been waiting. He just stares out the window." 2 years? Wow, it feels like so much longer. She choked back a sob. "Without seasons, I can't tell. Every day it's 70 degrees outside, year-round. No newspapers, no television. Just beach, sand, pirates, gnarly trees of life. She put her hand on a nearby tree trunk and patted it several times. She looked back at John, her face stoic and determined. Don't worry about Dad. I'll get back to him. I'll get back to both of you. But how? You said the chest didn't return. That means the chest is still here. I can take it home. I'm sure of it. Well, where's the chest? She said. John asked. Mom laughed. Well, that's the 300-year-old question. She squatted and began drawing in the dirt. We're here in New Providence. She drew several other islands that John recognized from his dad's wall lamp. The Bahamas was one of them. Last, she drew an X on the speck of an island east of them. This is where the chest brought me. What happened? She stopped drawing and wiped the sand from her fingers. The night it brought me here, you were at Indian camp with Dad. I was upstairs putting your childhood things into the chest, and I heard noises from downstairs. I thought they were voices. She looked up at John. They didn't speak in any language I recognized, at least not then. When I heard the stairs squeak, I got scared. The closet was full, the bathroom was too obvious, so I climbed into the chest and I locked it from the inside. That's when something happened. Like twisting me inside out. I unlocked the chest and I was at the sea. I was in the sea, John. I was floating. I nearly drowned. She looked up, her eyes far away with remembrance of that night. I barely made it to the shore. The current took the chest with me. It left me there. Well, it left me here in this time. So we just have to find the chest. That's it. We just find the chest and you go home. Not we, John. I find the chest. You go home now, she said. No, I have to help. John balled his fists, holding them rigidly at his sides. What are you going to do? You stand out here, his mom said, pulling at his printed t-shirt and then pointing at his sneakers. Alyssa didn't seem to mind, John asked. You mean Elizabeth's here too? His mom asked. Well, no, I met a girl that looks like Alyssa. Her name was Anne, John said. Oh, that's Blackbeard's daughter, his mom said. Blackbeard's daughter? John's heart pumped faster. It was Blackbeard I saw that day, he thought. Dozens of guns, a thick black beard, a hearty swagger. Everything John imagined Blackbeard would be. All the more reason for you to leave, John. These pirates, they're not the sort of company a boy like you should be keeping, she said. Which is why you need to go home too, John begged. No, your safety's too important. I can do this myself. She crossed her arms and squinted at John. That's an order, mister. I can help you, Mom. What if I go back? What if I look for the chest on the internet? If I can't find it in the furniture, I might be able to find it here. You know, that's really not a bad idea at all. In fact, that's the perfect way for you to help. Travel to the future. Find the chest. It'll keep you safe and help me get home. A smile of genuine hope spread on his mom's face. How will I find you again, Mom? I'll come to this grove every night at sunset. When you learn something, come back here. If I'm not here, don't go looking for me. Under no circumstance are you to interact with anyone on this island. You understand me? But Mom, no buts, Jonathan Alexander Horngold. Go home. Stay safe. And tell your dad I love him very much. She gave John one last squeezing hug, kissed him on the forehead, and stepped away. John, go, now. And so John reluctantly pulled the eye patch off, transporting from the twilight of a Caribbean island to the glaring bright light of the downstairs bathroom. He had found his mom, and now he could make everything right again.